Under the Live Better Electrically banner, GE and ad agency personnel meet in New York. Meeting is opened by Regional Activities Manager Steve Van Voorhees.
It is with a great deal of pleasure that this morning we have with us the man who is really behind our Live Better Electrically program, our boss, your boss, and a grand guy, Pat O'Brien, Vice President, General Manager of the Apparatus Sales Division. Pat.
Back in 1950, when we held the first utility executives camp at Association Island, we presented a forward-looking 10-year program. The development that was predicted and projected at that time in our presentation included a very heavy segment of growth in the residential load area. When we repeated the program in 1954, we again took a very optimistic view of the future as far as total load growth was concerned and factored in strongly at that time a growth in residential load. We were disturbed, however, that a comparison in 54 with the levels in 1950 had not shown the growth that we expected for those 4 years. And during this past year, as we watched the utility industry and as we watched the manufacturers, it was quite evident there was no organized approach to the development of this very important part of the utility load, namely residential load. We undertook this study in Marketing Services Division of what could be done to promote the residential load building program. And that was in turn reviewed and re-reviewed and discussed at department level, at division level, and at executive vice president level, until the final conclusion was reached that the General Electric Company was ready to act as at least the stimulating force, the generating force to bring about a mass market development program in the residential load field.
Manpower buildup has been going on for months, and project organization is now virtually complete. This conference is the first get-together for recently appointed regional supervisors, and they line up for Apparatus News camera. Chuck Graham, New York. Dick Hawes, Washington. Gaynor Collister, Atlanta. Bud Foster, Cleveland. Tom Sullivan, Chicago. Pete Peterson, St. Louis. Frank Paul G., San Francisco. Hit parade material from Phil Hoppen, Manager of Program Planning.
Gentlemen, I'd like to present the musical theme of Live Better Electrically, which is going to be the most popular jingle in America during 1956.
You can make your family's life much brighter. You will find your work much lighter. It's as easy as can be to live better electrically. You can have more time for fun and pleasure. Family moments you will treasure. It's an opportunity to live better electrically.
Those in attendance also hear plans for closed circuit telecast February 8th. Project Manager Bob Bowen's summary of highlights closes a 2-day conference. Live Better Electrically, one more measure of industrial leadership.
"126 Southern gentlemen from the Southeast District check in at the Tides Hotel in St. Petersburg, Florida, and quickly dive into a full 2-day annual conference which we think is one of the best. Tom Brock's my name, user salesman from Jackson, Mississippi, and with me are Pete Ray, ADI from Atlanta, and Leland Wilson, CID from Nashville. Here's our impression of the conference. This is the first annual sales meeting we've had under the new separate district setup, and after opening remarks from salesman Ed Morris and some straight-from-the-shoulder advice on selling from Bill McGinnis, president of the Tampa Electric Company, the combined meeting breaks up into separate work sessions in each of the 3 sales areas. Although the settings are informal, the work schedule definitely is not. For ADI, men like sales manager Bob Harris quickly get into reports and discussions on a range of subjects from marine business to rocket and research. While A&SP specialists Glenn Wilson and Dick Buchanan talk about sales aids available for the specialized ADI area. The user sales team spends the morning in similar fashion. They hear, among others, sales engineer Jim Vidal explain how to plan for maximum sales effectiveness, and marketing research manager Jim Townsend urged the need for keeping up-to-date records of available business for which each salesman is responsible. Highlight of the user meeting are work sessions held separately for utility and industrial sales. The boys really cut loose in these sessions. Free discussions give them plenty of opportunity to exchange ideas and solve their mutual sales problems. The CID group, as you would expect, finds in the conference an ideal opportunity to discuss fundamental problems of a new sales organization. Questions and discussion from the floor are frequent. Of course, there's always time for friendly competition at a conference like this, and some opportunity to just sit and appreciate the beauty of a Florida setting and climate. But the big value, to us at least, of an annual sales conference is the opportunity we get to meet informally with our managers and with each other, and to realize that, in spite of a divided organization, we really work as a united team. As Carter Red, our user sales manager, put it, we can't afford not to hold a sales meeting like this. And with that thought, we salesmen in the Southeast District all heartily agree.
Gus Grant, Sims Manager of Product Planning.
At SIM, we have redesigned our line of totally enclosed motors to give your customers more of the motor features they require. Your recommendations and a great deal of field study indicated that customers could be better served in the 1 to 5 horsepower range with 2 lines instead of 1. And here they are. The new standard duty, totally enclosed Triclad 55 and the severe duty, totally enclosed Triclad 55. We have tailored each line to meet different application requirements. Here's what I mean. The steel conduit box of the standard duty motor is designed for maximum convenience. It features a 1/2 and a 3/4 inch knockout with sealing gaskets for each conduit size. Keyhole mounting is featured for quick and easy installation. This new type gasket between the conduit box and the frame does double duty as a seal and a lead positioner. The leads are positioned as shown on the nameplate. Many customers prefer wire nuts in making connections, so we have provided leads stripped for wire nut installation, thereby saving wiring time and eliminating taping. Fan covers on the new standard motor are made of steel. This makes them lighter and practically unbreakable. This should please those customers who must move motors frequently and who have experienced fan cover breakage. Of course, the frame and end shields on both lines are of cast iron. And here's something else your customers will appreciate: a lifting eye on all enclosed motors. The severe duty enclosed line is the same as the standard duty line, except for features that make it best for use in excessively moist or corrosive atmospheres. For example, all threaded parts are coated with lubriplate to prevent the threads from seizing even after 5 years of operation. A new type shaft seal on the pulley end is impervious to most chemicals and easily removable. On the through bolts, washers have been included to give additional moisture protection. Finally, for most severe duty applications, an accessory kit of stainless steel hardware is available at a nominal cost. Here then are the 2 new lines with all of the many Triclad 55 advantages, yet tailored to your customers' needs. 90% of your customers' needs can be met by the standard enclosed motors. They are carried in stock and they have the same model numbers that now appear in the handbook. For severe duty motors, order by standard enclosed model number and specify for severe duty. If you want more details on both new lines, consult SIM Advanced Product Information Letter number 10 and Bulletin number SIM 12.
Convention Hall in Philadelphia opens its doors for visitors to the 25th Exposition of the Chemical Industry. 22,000 people attend over the show's 5-day run to see the latest in products and developments exhibited by 531 companies. A prominent exhibitor is General Electric, with 6 product departments sponsoring displays. Chemical industry, already America's 4th largest, lays claim to being the fastest growing. Its yearly growth rate of 7% is more than double that of industry as a whole. An estimated $23 billion business in 1955 represents about 6% of all industrial sales. For General Electric sales engineers, chemical industry represents a lucrative user customer. In each of the past 5 years, the industry's plant and equipment expenditure has risen above the billion mark. Electrical portion has equaled about $50 million annually. Economical power rectification is an especially important subject to the chemical industry because of heavy direct current requirements. Industrial rectifier sales manager Warren Howard demonstrates the germanium rectifier, which offers reduced size and greater efficiency in high-power, low-voltage electrochemical processes. For high-voltage applications, the mercury arc rectifier unit, being explained here by line sales manager Sam Martin, has gained wide acceptance within the chemical industry over the past 5 years. Future for chemical industry is something much more than promising. Release of formally classified nuclear energy data is expected to result in a wave of capital expenditures, which will push the industry's already sensational growth rate even higher. General Electric on display for a $50 million customer. The place is a public auditorium in Cleveland, Ohio, and the event is the International Atomic Exposition, where General Electric's impressive exhibit of nuclear reactors, the greatest to date, attracts considerable attention, including the attention of a United Nations camera team. To Cleveland come representatives from the 3 sales departments of nearly every district in the nation to meet the men and see the equipment of the Atomic Power Equipment Department. In the morning, at a sales meeting at Cleveland's Statler Hotel, marketing manager O.B. Falls announces that APED will sell through the Apparatus Sales Division and will seek full representation in the districts through specialists who will report to the product managers of user sales. Product planning manager Andy Anderson gives district representatives up-to-date product and marketing information. District guests learn that APED will make 2 classes of products: complete atomic reactors and such components as electromagnetic pumps and control rod drives. After Bud Bedoin presents the advertising and sales promotion picture, sales manager Marty Compton makes an announcement of special interest to the districts.
And gentlemen, we are fortunate to be able to sell our products through the Apparatus Sales Division. And we ask you to treat us as a regular product department. We're young and we're new and we're inexperienced, but we're going to grow up just as fast as we possibly can. We are going to provide specialist service for you from the factory until the time comes when we have trained enough people to permit them to go to the districts, and then you can have your own specialists at your own location. Proposition service is a difficult one. It takes us time to prepare a proposition for a complicated piece of equipment like a reactor. So bear with us until we develop techniques to give you better propositions in a lot less time.
Long-range effect of Union Pacific's order for gas turbine electric locomotives is the subject as LNCE Marketing Manager Forey Creighton talks with Apparatus News reporter Joe Brickley.
Would it be accurate then to say that the gas turbine is the locomotive of the future?
Well, in a sense, yes. Although right now, we don't know how to design a gas turbine in the small horsepower sizes that would be competitive with a diesel engine. So our efforts in this field for the time being will be confined to large horsepower locomotives similar to this one.
Do you have any prospects other than Union Pacific?
Yes, there's several. We have the Southern Pacific, the Northern Pacific, Great Northern, Santa Fe, up in Canada, the Canadian National, Canadian Pacific, perhaps even the Illinois Central.
Getting back to the Union Pacific order, when will you start work on it?
Well, we've already started. We've been designing this now for about 2 months.
How about production?
Well, as far as production goes, this thing will begin to show in our shop along in the second quarter of 1956. We expect to ship the first locomotive in the first quarter of 1957 and conclude the job along early in 1959.
Will this mean an expansion of your facilities?
No, not this order in itself. However, if we do get orders for some of the big propositions that we're working on now, then, and they had to run in parallel with this gas turbine job, then we would need additional facilities, yes.
In the gas turbine field, are you planning anything other than the large type locomotive you're selling to Union Pacific?
Long range we are, yes. We're working on a project, on a project of a small one. I say small, I mean 3,000 to 3,500 horsepower.
The competitive type you
which
talked
would
about
be
before.
more competitive with the diesel engine, that's right.
Thank you, Mr. Creighton.
From Schenectady, a report on the Verified Inquiry Program. After 20 weeks, the new program being conducted by A&SP and 3 sales departments shows these results. 631 verified inquiries have been sent to the districts, and sales engineers have reported back on 311 so far. Of the 311, 58 resulted in quotations, 22 to assigned customers, and 36 to unassigned customers. Dollar volume of $801,008 has been quoted, $279,902 to assigned customers, and $521,106 to unassigned customers. More than 2,000 inquiries funnel through A&SP department each week. Problem is to sort out the live sales leads. Here's how the Verified Inquiry Program accomplishes this. Every publication sent out in reply to an inquiry is now accompanied by this questionnaire, which asks the recipient to answer 4 questions. Among them, would he like price information? Does he have a specific application in mind? If the questionnaire comes back, replies to these questions are carefully evaluated. Should they indicate a likely prospect, report of a verified inquiry goes out to interested sales engineer through his district A&SP manager. From this point on, everything is in the hands of the sales engineer who contacts the prospect. For the record, the sales engineer is asked to complete this report form. The importance of the screening job is evident from this chart, which summarizes the handling of inquiries exclusive of those received from competitors. In the 20-week period covered by the report, A&SP filled 10,185 requests for information resulting from ads by sending out publications with questionnaires. 750 questionnaires came back, and 118 of them indicated business leads. News releases produced 24,873 inquiries, 1,227 questionnaires, and 91 leads. Miscellaneous letters accounted for 5,069 inquiries, 233 questionnaires, and 17 leads. 405 requests for quotations were sent immediately to the districts as self-evident leads. This particular analysis brought out a significant sidelight. The disparity between total questionnaires received and the number that turned out to be worthwhile leads was caused principally by people answering only the question as to whether they had received the publication in good condition. A revised questionnaire has been printed which asks only for information regarding specific projects under consideration. This should not only remedy the situation, but provide a finer screen for sifting inquiries. Performance of the program by districts is broken down in this chart, copies of which are now in the hands of District A and SP managers. Analysis indicates that many districts are finding pay dirt in the new system. A promising start for the verified inquiry program. In Allentown, Pennsylvania, an automation forum draws owners and top-level management of local industries to a full day's program sponsored by officials of Pennsylvania Power and Light and the General Electric Company. With national interest in automation running high, well over 200 guests are registered. Mr. Cordner's October testimony on automation and the recently released More Power to America automation program provide the context for this pilot forum, which may set the stage for similar forums throughout the country. PP&L Vice President Harry Selden welcomes guests. Fred McChesney, Manager of Light Industry Sales Development, spells out the facts of industrial life that make automation a must for American industry, large and small. An attentive audience listens as GE speakers outline the benefits of automation. Walt Bloomquist, Atlantic District's Manager of Application Engineering, covers the importance of adequate power distribution. Adjustable speed drives for greater production are covered by Alex Alexander, Manager of Atlantic District Product Sales. During a recess, GE speakers man the exhibits and explain the role of electrical products and systems in automation. At luncheon, the air's alive with the talk of automation, the modern way of manufacturing. And in the afternoon session, GE turns on the heat again as the role of electric heating in automation is discussed. Vital subjects like the speed and economy of electrical methods of materials handling are covered, and customers are told how automatic controls are programming unerring automatic cycles in many industrial operations today. The enthusiastic response to this pilot program is what may be expected throughout the country as GE establishes its position of natural leadership in automation.